Hey guys, so Minichibu releases a video discussing the new report by the Historical Association, which the Ministry of Education of the UK asked them to investigate things related to teaching sensitive subjects and explain why they're being dropped from many schools. Now, he discussed it in the form of an article which summed up the key points, which were mainly related to Muslims. They were mainly related to teachers not wanting to confront the one-sided and, I assume, historic, factually corrupt version of events that Muslims were taught in religious institutions, such as a mosque. This is what this report discovered, and that's what they were discussing. This was, as I said, a commission report to investigate. They went up through schools and checked what the heck is going on. So this guy comes out and he starts attacking Michibu. What is this nonsense article? What is this nonsense? Which is of course quite ironic because, as I said, Michibu discussed an article, but it wasn't actually an article. It was an article about the actual report, summing it up. So this guy keeps on making attacks on it. What are you reading this nonsense? What are you reading this propaganda? What are you reading? The Sun? Is it the Sun? Don't bother replying to me if it is. It's highly silly. I wrote down loads of notes about this stuff, about his video, but I frankly don't think I could fit it in 10 minutes. There was just so much nonsense in there. He mentioned early Islam, and he started going on about the burning of witches in the Western world at the time. Firstly, 1,500 years ago has nothing to do with today's world. And secondly, even if it did, let's put it in a bit of context. Most of the Islamic knowledge was knowledge that was local and conquered by one mean or another. It was not new knowledge, much of it. Much of it was already known. Furthermore, he tries to refute that Muslims have invaded others by saying that Muslims cared for wounded. Apparently that stops him from the accusation of pillaging and conquering and force converting people. Apparently that drops that accusation. So well done on refuting that one. He goes, the Western world still pillage and enslave to this day. I must jot this down to explain to the Sudanese that this is why their case has not been heard. It's because of the Western world. It's nothing to do with utter silence from the Arab and Islam, almost utter silence from the Arab and Islamic world. It's to do with Western world pillaging and still doing all these things. The Middle East is perfect otherwise, great place. It's just the evil Western world that I think he lives in, from what I understood. So well done on that one again, and for providing no facts. This guy also seems to not understand that British economic growth and Western economic growth has been thanks to the Industrial Revolution, and not thanks to, having access to resources. Resources are a vital part of any economy, but there are countries, look at the oil-rich countries in the Middle East. They're pathetically high unemployment, pathetically low wages for an average worker, pathetically low everything, low education in most of those countries. It's having access to resources and even having lots of money as a result of it means nothing in the bigger picture. It means you can buy yourself some time. And maybe I would recommend to what's his name, Vittorio, that he study a little bit more about how an economy is built, all the different elements of it and the foundations. Because quite frankly, I'm tired of all these old mysticist, pathetic accusations of, oh, if it's only thanks to that, the industrialization is almost meaningless in the context of you had an empire and that's why you're rich today. There are countries rich today that never had an empire. In fact, there were colonies at the time for a while, and they have pretty reasonable GDP and pretty reasonable quality of living and pretty reasonable unemployment rates. So, it is true, obviously, that England had a big empire, but keep a bit of perspective. I'm sick and tired of these falsehoods being spread as if you had to, only these guys are successful and everyone else got screwed over. They might have done at the time, but let's not forget what colonialization did. I mention this now because he's brought it up over and over and over and over and over and over. Let's not forget that when the Westerners came over, they amazed some people in the Middle East with the technology of refrigeration and freezing ice. My God. So I wonder where the Middle Eastern world would be today if it wasn't thanks to the Western world. So, it goes back and forth. You can throw whatever accusations you want. It frankly doesn't matter because you've provided no facts for them. Vittorio proves the point of the researchers. He goes, what would I want to learn about the Crusades? How they killed babies and tortured blah blah blah. So they said that teachers do not want to combat the view taught to Muslims down the generations and in the mosques that are not specifically done by facts. Obviously, a mosque is not an educational institution. If they want to apply for licenses to be schools and teach the national curriculum, then I suppose they could, but they have to follow it. So he provided no facts for this tirade of burning babies, no context mention, no mention to the lead up to these things, no mention to anything. He also, it's just another attack. It's just like blah 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 blah. Now I'm Jewish. I personally, I have no love for the Crusades, but this passionate attack is exactly the sort of thing that the teachers that was related in the research. This is the kind of reason that they want to drop the subject altogether, because you can't discuss it. As soon as you bring it up, what do we get from this guy who's telling us that this research is wrong? Oh, you want me to go into burning babies and blah blah blah. All right, whatever, man. Well done for disproving the point that teachers want to drop the subjects because they're worried about the attacks they'll get by Muslim kids, not physical but verbal and other form. Again, go over which tabloid. There are no tabloids. It basically justified everything that Military Boots said here. It says everyone wants everyone to be like them. I'm Jewish. I don't want everyone to be Jewish. If they are, great. Saves me the hassle of religious debates and everything. Not good for them. I want everyone to be a good person and everyone to be friendly and open to each other. I don't want necessarily everyone to be Jewish. In fact, there's a lot of Jews I don't get along with, shockingly enough. There's a lot of Christians I don't get along with. There's a lot of everyone I don't get along with. But I don't judge them by their religion. I don't judge them by what if everyone agrees with me that this is the truth, then I'm safe. I'm sorted. It's the truth then. Yay, everyone believes in what I believe in. Come on, it's pathetic. It just proves Military Boots' point. I like to think I'm right. I like to argue my point, but I want people to have a bit of self-thought. So this is again, it just proves Military Boots' point, and I'm running out of time, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Obviously, again, just repetitions of the same crap about the industrial, about African kids, and they're starving just because the West stole from them. Nothing to do with their civil wars, nothing to do with their, the fact that they don't have the best economic policies, nothing to do with anything in the world except that they were once, many years ago, run by someone else. Come on. This is quite boring now. This is by far one of my worst tapes. I even mentioned the Holocaust again. And he said, even pointed out that it's what did you say? He said the Holocaust has been exaggerated, and that's a valid point. Just proving the research. This is just pathetic. I'm not even gonna bother continuing this charade.